We've reached the point where memory fades and silence deepens. I'm Meek Nomicon, and now all that remains is a glassy stare. Since the very morning, I was weighed down by an anxious premonition. The thought of an inevitable end, like a black raven whose wings had long cast a sinister shadow over my life, hung in the air, ready to strike me with merciless cruelty. Fate was testing my already crippled by seclusion mind. And what devilish irony it turned out to be, when the usual order, so carefully maintained in my solitary abode, was torn to shreds by unexpected news. She, my only star amidst the darkness, had resolved to visit me. How strange! The desire to see her, to be near her, to share with her every breath and moment, turned into a tormenting contradiction. I wished those minutes had been marked in the schedule. But alas, my misfortunes did not end there. In the workshop I would visit for prosthetics, where usually an affable, although somewhat stingy old man presided, I was now confronted by some stranger, a figure as sinister as it was unfamiliar. His face, covered in ulcers and deep grooves, seemed like a caricature of the human visage, while his fleshy lips twitched incessantly. "The master is away, sir. Allow me to give you your order," he said, struggling to shape the words. The unease already flooding my body like poison kept me from delving into the mystery of his identity. Only one thought possessed me: to retrieve the coveted box as quickly as possible and retreat into the saving calm of my habitual routine. This time, the master had outdone himself. This is a special eye, a work of art. In it shines the soul. Laris, Fuscus, Linnaeus. Lesser black-backed gull. Order Caraduiformes, family Lavidae. The manners of that workman were as unbearable as the irritating flocks of these ghouls forever lingering along Iceland's shores. Yet where birds might hold a fleeting charm, in this gentleman there was only a repulsive parody of all that is natural and beautiful. And yet, a miracle had occurred. The new eye not only filled the void where my lost flesh had been, but did so with such perfection it was as if it had always been a part of me. The unpleasant sensations that had always accompanied such replacements were now gone, leaving only a sense of completeness. The artificial organ felt as though no bloodless cavity had ever yawned in its place. Shines the soul. This doomed deformity had pursued me since birth, though I had long been aware of far worse defects of the human form. The absence of an eyeball incessantly poisoned my life, suppressing any intention to appear in society. People, with their snake tongues and false smiles, indulged in petty mockery, turning me into an object of scorn and amusement. I cannot bear their hypocritical company, and to this day I despise them with all my soul. Forced isolation drowned my mind in anxieties, but in this unbroken solitude I found salvation, temporary though it was, in observing the winged creatures of the heavens. Through ornithology, birds, astonishing, perfect beings, fluttering above the vanity of worldly passions. Man will never come close to these angels incarnate, and anyone daring to conquer the skies will share the fate of Icarus, who dared to rise toward the sun. No, that is heresy. Stay in the shadows, watch, and take note. These are the fundamental postulates. Only then will you soar high. Only then will you catch the spark. woodpecker, Hudsonia, the black-billed magpie, a member of the corvid family, the embodiment of grace and freedom, made manifest in the form of a long-tailed beauty. My beloved had done the impossible. She was an angel reborn in human form, the incarnate soul of that very bird whose wings sliced through the skies with a grace and daring denied to mere mortals. And only she, with a soul as light and untamed as the wind, could see in me not a mutilated creature, but a man. Only she could love me, see a treasure in the gleam of a glass eye, not a hideous affliction. The wait for our meeting was unbearable. This yearning, both agonizing and sweet, dragged my soul into the abyss of anxiety like chains. My mind, finding no comfort, wandered the ominous labyrinths of imagined nightmares. Visions of darkness and dread, terrifying images of her loss or cold indifference unfolded before me. And yet, I waited. The glass in my socket was like sand, counting down the hours of my life. More and more often I found myself brooding over how much time I had left. I loathed the thought that the beautiful bird, my beloved, had willingly bound herself with the chains of love to me. Someone so unworthy, so hideous. Oh, Adelaide, I wish you happiness, but I fear that your mercy will be your demise. I want you to be happy, Adelaide. I mean, if she's willingly to come visit us, it sounds like she's made her choice in us, right? Night found me in torturous wakefulness. I could not sleep, tormented by dark thoughts. Only my kind, nocturnal companion, the owl, shared with me the hours of suffering. The moon's disk shone white, and its rays flooded the room. Ah! Suddenly, my socket was pierced with an unbearable, sparkling pain, such as I had never known before. Like lightning, it spread in pulses through my entire skull. Horrified, I rushed to the mirror, but I saw only my face contorted in agony. Wait, do you reckon he was telling the truth when he said the eye was imbued with the soul of another? The prosthesis was intact, as was the socket. But what was this hellish pain? Could the phantoms have reached even my physical shell? I feared the illusions would begin to torment not only my mind, but also my body. But perhaps it was nothing serious. So I thought, before sinking into painful dreams. You know, at the very least, maybe you should take the eye out temporarily. But my illness progressed. I did not notice when the moment came that the artificial eye became inseparable from me, and I could not remove it. It seemed to have taken root, its glass and flesh entwined in the darkness of my socket. Each pulsing beat felt like a hammer splitting my skull from within. Nauseating pain filled every cell of my body, robbing me of the ability to think or act. And then I realized the terrible truth. Adelaide, my dear Adelaide, would see me in this state, in this vile, repulsive form. Something has to be done. Why do I get a bad feeling we're going to try and gouge the eye out and it's going to make everything so much worse? Something, before this glass curse consumed me entirely. Macronex giganteus. You compare your pain to the attack of a giant petrel? Woman, I beg you, spare me your mockery. I am in no condition to endure it. Have you come back to the workshop? Woman Pierce, my only friend and confidant, was an educated and respected man, a young dentist whose social status seemed unreachable. Who else could I trust? No one else could hear my tale. but my illness took on an even more sinister turn. Seeking the man who had given me the ill-fated eye, I returned to the workshop. Okay, I'm predicting now, the guy that actually gave us the eye was never actually a worker there. Maybe the master's even dead already. To my horror, the old man working there claimed never to have seen the stranger who had given me the order. He confirmed that he had indeed been away at that time, but the workshop could not have been open. I tried not to panic, tried to keep myself under control, but increasingly I found my thoughts taking on an alien, unnatural timbre. As if another voice, quiet and sinister, was whispering in my head, words I dreaded to hear. Upon examination, I found nothing unusual. The prosthesis sat well, perhaps too well, but this piece of glass cannot be removed. I'm afraid, my friend, there's nothing I can do. Teeth are bone, skeleton. Eyes are different, all soft, deep. Even if the eye is glass, you know what they say. The eyes are the mirror of the soul. So perhaps it's a good thing it's fixed in place. You wanted your eye back. Well, there it is. He said it with a faint smile, not knowing how deeply every word wounded me. Migraines, my friend, are probably due to the lack of fresh air. But if it troubles you so much, I can prescribe you morphine. Do you reckon the eye is going to have an entity attached to it and I'm just going to start hearing a voice inside my head? I mean, we already mentioned we started hearing thoughts we wanted left unsaid, but that was probably just our own anxieties, not an actual separate consciousness. Yet. I don't need morphine. I need this cursed prosthesis gone. I need the pain devouring me from within to stop. And above all, I need these alien thoughts, these unbearable voices to leave my mind. How I wish I could rip this cursed glass from my socket right here and now. Oh, Warren, my friend, if only you knew that I had not just lost control of my body. I am losing control of my soul. Take the scalpel and cut out my eyes. Cut out Warren's eyes? Tear out the eye right now. Squeeze the eye. Monstrous intentions attacked my mind. I could no longer endure this obsession. I had to break away and flee without even explaining myself to my friend. Something was wrong. I wandered the streets like a madman. I do not remember how I reached the estate. Every cell of my brain throbbed in agony, my body unable to resist the convulsions. My legs carried me to the bedroom door, where I collapsed onto the cold floor, utterly spent. I could hear the servants bustling nearby, trying to help me come to my senses. But I could not tear my gaze away from it. It was slowly approaching, seeping through the people. Wait, which eye am I seeing this through? Oh, damn! And there are no human words to describe the horror I felt at the sight of that abominable creature. Everything in it seethed. Flesh rose and fell. Layers of bone and stretched skin shifted in chaotic order. Never had a bird pecked the flesh of a lamb untainted by sin. Blessed is he who dies for faith and law, and even more so, he who at dawn heard the song of angels and went to meet them. Boneless tongues moved within the many maws of the creature wrapped in flesh. I dared not move, frozen with fear. I wanted it to be silent, to go away. But hunger took hold of our beaks, our heads, our souls. Terror fell upon us, as if a hollow skull stared at us through an empty eye socket. We knew then what hunger was. Make it shut up! Quick! Make it shut up at once! I cannot suppress a scream, but my voice made no sound. We will take your eyes. We will take your thoughts. We will take your soul. I've just had an awful thought. So we're seeing this monster because it's through the glass eye, right? Do you reckon though, in reality, this is gonna be Adelaide? I just have an awful feeling we're gonna try and attack the monster and we're gonna end up killing our beloved instead. A violent shiver shook my body, as if in a raging fever. I could only croak. Get out. Disappear, I beg of you. Nevermore. The creature's words emptied my insides. I lost consciousness. Okay, so it wasn't quite as dramatic as I was fearing. Who am I now? Where am I? I need Adelaide. I want to see her. I need to rest. I'm so tired. Hello, my dear. Adelaide. Yes, it's me. I'm so happy that you recognize me. You lay in a stupor for several days. I was so worried about you. Adelaide, you should leave. It's not me anymore, it's not... What are you saying? She smiled, her face so kind, so beautiful. Of course it's you. Once you get better, we'll start taking walks in the garden. You'll tell me about that beautiful birds, and I'll listen. I love you. I'm so in love with your beautiful eyes. Oh, so I'm going to take them apparently. The soul has left the body of the lamb. With your hands, the vessels of the soul were moved. At last, the sickness is gone. Nevermore. You know, I think it would have been more merciful for Adelaide if I had accidentally just like stabbed her or something when I predicted it. I feel like gouging out her eyes is a lot worse of a fate for her. I mean, she probably died from it, right? From blood loss, infection, everything like that, considering the time period this is set in. But damn, it was a more brutal way to die. But yeah, we're definitely being influenced by our glass eye then, so I'm guessing some kind of eldritch entity was attached to it. I'd say that I did love the writing. I mean, it was actually reminded me of when I was reading through The King in Yellow. It kind of had that feel to it. And I love that book. That book's great. Well, I hope you enjoyed your time here. If you did, please don't like this video and subscribe to this channel. And that is Spooky Day, and I'll catch you next time, guys.